What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, Young Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. And tonight I'm going to bring you something that I've been telling a few viewers that I was going to do for a while. I've got 4 different knives, and every single one of them I bought off of Amazon. These are not name brands that I normally buy. They're not the big time Civivs or Cold Steels or Benchmades or any of that. They're 4 brands that you can find on Amazon right now for affordable budget prices, and I'm going to check them out and tell you exactly what I think. But before I do any of that, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer or a new viewer, either one, I appreciate you. I appreciate you as a human being. I want you to know that. Thank you for checking out my video and spending time with me and my love of knives. I greatly appreciate that. Now, in case you are new and you don't know, we're in the middle of a massive giveaway right now. We got a big contest going on right now. All you have to do to be a part of it, if you're interested, and trust me, we're not just giving away the normal stuff like a knife here and there. We got some really cool stuff we're giving away. What you need to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, then go over and find my other video that's real easy to find, titled Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. It's only a few minutes long. It tells you all about the contest and the things that we're giving away, and the only simple thing that you have to do to be a part of it, which is one simple thing. It just takes a couple seconds to do it, and it's free. So remember, like this video, subscribe to my channel, Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. Do what it says, and you're in the giveaway, and it's right around the corner, and we're excited to have it, and we're excited to have you a part of our community. We're growing every single day. All right, guys. So I've been telling a few people, I've been hearing about the F&Grow and Off Grid and Miguron. I've already learned about Miguron and stuff like that. I've learned so much about some of these brands that are new to me, that are only sold, or at least I have only seen them on Amazon. I haven't seen them on Blade HQ and stuff like that. Not saying that they're not there. I'm just saying that I haven't seen them. I've only seen them on Amazon. So what I've done is I've bought 4 knives. I actually bought more than that, but some of them I've already, I didn't do reviews on them, stuff. They're just over there in the drawer. But I've got 4 right now that I'm going to go over with you. These are going to be quick reviews, just giving you my honest opinion on these things. The fit and finish, the overall feel, how sharp they are, things like that. Speaking of which, when it comes to that time, I'm going to run over and get some paper because I keep forgetting to bring paper to this table. Sorry. I'm going to get better. I say that every time, and I never do, so I'm a liar. I apologize. All right, so let's get into these. 4 different knives. I've got, let's do this one first. Now, I did open these up and just check them out and get a quick feel for them, because I wanted to see what they were about. I wanted to, because they were new to me, I wanted to get a little feel for them and kind of just, get a feel for them. Okay, so this is the F&Grow EF121. This is a small fixed blade knife with D2 blade steel, G10 handles, Kydex sheaths, stuff like that. So let me just check this out. I mean, I just opened it up and looked at it. I didn't really give it a once over. I just took the paper off. I knew that this was going to have 4 knives, so I wanted this video to not be 2 hours long. So I really like this. I really like that more and more of these knives that I'm getting, whether they're the Civivs or the Kydex or the Kaiser and stuff like that, more and more of them are offering these clips. And I'm getting more and more of these. I've got so many of these I don't know what to do with now. Those are awesome. I love the fact that companies are putting these with their knives. That's great. You can rotate those around and give you a cross draw, vertical draw, whatever you want. So good Kydex sheath. I'm noticing that a good snap, good retention. I mean, it's typical Kydex. So I like the fact that the rings, the eyelets or whatever you want to call them, are so big. You can really, a lot of times they're smaller and it's hard to find different screws that'll fit that. So you can use like different clips, ulti clips and stuff like that. These are really good size. So these are going to be universally easy to fit and find different screws and stuff like that for. So I like that. I like that a lot. It's got a good retention. Feels good going in and out. But you're not here about the sheath. You want to talk about the knife. I'm actually actually pretty daggone surprised and impressed with how daggone nice this thing is. It's got great jimping right there. If you see that, that's some aggressive jimping right there. I mean, that's the kind of jimping that I like. I mean, that's the jimping where they take little chunks out of the metal and like your thumb is not going nowhere without losing some skin, unless you intended for it to. Good grind work. You know, a good saber grind, a flat grind. It's got a good swedge on top. Now this isn't a full swedge to the tip. It only goes and meets the flat grind. The handle, there is some contouring on the handle, like right here and right here, of course, but you have a lot of pretty sharp edges. It's kind of boxy. Now, a lot of times boxy doesn't work because boxy will turn in your hand really bad, especially if you're doing any aggressive or hard cutting or pushing down or forcing or anything like that. Now, I don't know if that would be the case with this because it's such a smaller handle. With that good jimping, you can really, choke down on this and really get some force behind your cuts. I like it. It's got really nice red. I'm the worst for that. I'm surprised I cut my finger a while ago in that other video. Red liners, they look great. I like the decorative screws there. Those are pins. I said screws. The decorative pins. Those are really nice. It's got a hole right there for a lanyard. All in all, I mean, the sharpening tool could be done a little bit better. The sharpening tool is has a little bit to be desired. You could see that they were trying to put it there, but they didn't do that great of a job. But, I mean, it's there. Feels good in the hand. I mean, it definitely has towards the back because it goes from such a narrow to such a wide and such a short span. You really, when you choke down on this, because it is a 4-finger grip, but your 4th finger right there is at a completely different angle and width than down here where it's far more narrow, which happens with a lot of knives and a lot of handles. So I'm not saying that that's not common. I'm just saying that when you combine that with how sharp these edges are and how boxy it is, it definitely is a situation where it can be a hot spot. It's kind of a hot spot. This right here is kind of a hot spot on my knuckle right there. But it's a smaller one. It's a smaller handle, so for a lot of people that won't be an issue. If your hands are smaller, then you'll be down here more, so you won't feel that. Now I've got 2X hands and I wear 2X gloves. So I'm going to, feel that far more in the end of my hand or the end of my palm or whatever it's called right there. Like if you were hammer fisting or something right there, that's where I'm feeling it right there in my knuckle. But overall, I like the knife. I like the knife a lot. It looks good. It's actually got really good fit and finish. The G10 is done really well, really well. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about the F&Gro knives. I've heard, like, people have been saying, hey, why are you not putting these F&Gros in your 3-knife challenges or doing any reviews on them? And to be perfectly honest, I have just not bought any. And I'll tell you what made me change this and go and start buying some of these. I've told you guys recently about my big revelation, big learning experience with Miguron knives. How amazing those are. And I thought that they were just going to be cheap Walmart style, like you have Swiss Tech for Walmart. And I like Swiss Tech. I talk about them all the time. But I thought that Miguron would be kind of like that. So I wanted to focus on the brands and the knives that I really wanted to get, that I was looking forward to. So I stayed away from them. But once I did finally break and get those, I learned a lesson. So now here I am doing this. Let's talk about some stats about this knife. This is total length is 6.93 inches. It has a 3.42 inch handle and a 3.5 inch blade. It is D2 blade steel. It doesn't talk about any of the hardness or anything like that on Amazon. Doesn't talk about that. So there's just not a lot of stats for me to give you on this. It doesn't show me the weight of this or anything like that. All I can tell you, just from holding this knife, from experiencing this knife in my hand, is I really like it. I really like it a lot. I'm actually shocked and surprised. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The weight is 8 ounces. The weight is 8 ounces. Yeah. So, I mean, I like the knife. It's just a little EDC knife. It's a little EDC knife. If you like the small, now obviously this isn't in the realm of like a Essie Azula or anything like that. Completely different knives. But if you like those smaller knives, those small EDC knives, you know, if you like the Muskrat, which this is way bigger, bigger handles, wider, much heavier, much thicker and bulkier. I'm just saying the length. If you like the shorter, smaller EDC fixed blades and you want something on a budget that still offers you really good kydex, really good fit and finish, a really nice clip, and on top of that, you're getting D2 steel, which is not a bad steel at all. D2 has excellent edge retention. It's durable, you know, not the best corrosion resistance. Obviously, it's a tool steel. But overall, this actually is a really nice package on a budget. What does this thing even cost? Let me see what this thing cost me on Amazon. And of course, I'll link these all in the description below. This was $27.99. I like it even more now that I remember how much I paid for it. For $27, $28, all day. And my whole impression now has changed. I thought I paid more. I thought this was like a $50 knife for some reason. $28. You can't beat this for $28. The excellent kydex, the excellent knife, the excellent jimping. Again, that little bit of hot spot right there at the end of the handle where it goes from so narrow to so wide, so in such a short span, it kind of throws your hand off a little bit, and it's a hot spot. I do wish that these were rounded off. If you are somebody that likes modifying your knives, all you would need to do is take some sandpaper or a sand block or something and sand these edges down and round them off a little bit. You're going to take care of that hot spot real quick and real easy, and it's going to be a great little knife. D2 blade steel is a great budget steel. It's going to hold up. It's going to last. This would be a good EDC knife, or you can even take this outside and do some light outdoor work, camping and stuff. A small, you know, a small camp size knife or something. This would be great for it. It's $28. If you lose it, if you break it, now I know not everybody can afford to lose and break a $28 knife because we all live according to our own budget. And that is completely understandable and okay. I'm just saying that if you do lose or break a $28 knife, it's far easier to do that than to lose or break something that costs a lot more, you know. So I like this. This is a great little fixed blade knife. I'm really shocked how good it is. I really like the spacers. I like how good that looks. I like the fit and finish. Overall, $28. You can't beat it. I talk all the time about the race to the bottom. The race to the bottom does not mean bottom in quality. It means bottom in price. You have more and more companies making their knives out of better and better materials and then underselling in price the competition. So now you're getting better materials for a cheaper price, and then this company has to bring their price down, but they're still giving you the same fit and finish, the same materials, the same quality. Now this company still wants to beat this price and stay competitive, so they got to lower their price, and it's a race to the bottom. You're still getting the same materials, you're still getting the same quality, but the price is on a ladder all the way down, and it's a race to the bottom. And this right here reminds me of that you can get the F and Grow with D2 with Kydex sheath, with the clip, with everything else, with this nice little fit and finish package for $28. I completely understand. You know, I see comments all the time where people are like, I don't spend no more than $50 on my knives. I just don't do it. I refuse to. I have a lot of knives, but they're $50 max. And I still get all kinds of stuff, and I can do the same thing that anybody else can do with the $100, $200, $300 knife. And I understand why they say that. And when you're getting stuff like this right here, come on. How can you blame them? How can you blame them? Now, there's a lot to be said about getting those more expensive knives and the enjoyment and the experience and stuff like that goes along with it. So I'm not saying stop buying those and only buy $28 knives. I'm not saying that at all, because I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying, if you are one of those people that do that, I completely understand why. And you're getting a knife right here that's capable. It's perfectly capable. Instead of doing this other fixed blade, let's do this folder here. Now, I've not opened this one up yet. I have no idea what this feels like, looks like. This is the Sativian ST128. I just took that out of the package, and immediately, as soon as I opened it, I was like, I've literally opened knives that were $160. I done one recently, Actinon Verba. I like the knife, but I opened it up and was completely stunned that it cost as much as it did. I still don't understand where the cost comes from. I just opened this knife up and I was like, how are they doing this for the price? Action's great. The jimping is great. Look at this. Full steel liners. It's a liner lock. G10 handles. Nice looking G10 handles too. A good spot right here for a lanyard. A pocket clip. The screws aren't inset. That is not a reversible pocket clip, so it's right hand only, tip up. Dual thumb studs. Look at that drop. Look at that. Another knife in D2. This thing is fantastic. This is fantastic. I really like how they've got this almost, it's jimping right here on the handle, but it's decorative jimping. So it looks really, really good. That's good work right there. And then, of course, you've got jimping on the blade as well. Feels great in the hand. Look how big that is. A good flat grind. I'm going to have to get some paper here really quick and try this out. It doesn't feel like super razor blade sharp. Now, that is all right. It's probably going to be, I mean, it's definitely going to be sharp enough to cut paper. It's sharp. But it's not one of those when you feel it, you're like, oh, that is a razor blade. So that, all right, so there you go. The blade, you know what the blade kind of reminds me of? The blade, just the shape, reminds me of like the Rat 1. Look at that. Look at the Rat 1. Look how big the knife is, and look at a Rat 1 and see how big it is. It kind of has that shape to it. It has this flat grind, a really nice point. Now that point, it's pretty thick blade stock right here, and it goes to a very narrow point, and it gets narrow really fast right there. And that is a narrow point. There's not a lot behind that point. Now back here there's a lot, but right here behind that point there's not. So I could definitely see that being a tip that you would not want to do any type of can opening or prying, which you shouldn't do that with your knives anyways, but I would not recommend that you do that at all with this knife. that looks like a tip that might have a little bit of weakness to it. Let me get some paper. Sorry guys, I've not done this before. I'm gonna do it this time because I really want to check these edges out. I'm putting enough paper over here where I don't have to remember every single time. I'm just gonna have stacks of it over here. All right. Check that edge out. Oh yeah. That edge is sharp. That edge is really sharp. That was me. That's a sharp blade. That was sharper than what I thought it was going to be. That's cutting really good. Really, really good. I'm impressed. Great. I mean, feels phenomenal in the hand. I'm going to tell you right now what it reminds me of. I just done that video yesterday with petrified fish, and I was really impressed, and I'm always impressed with petrified fish. Their fit and finish and how nice they are. This knife right here is coming in at $24.99, $25. $25. Look at that beast of a knife. Look at the fit and finish. I've got knives over there that I've paid 4 times as much that I don't think are as nice as this. Somebody was talking to me today in the comments, and they was talking about knives, and sometimes it's marketing, and sometimes you pay for the brand, and sometimes you're paying 10x, 20x times what it's actually worth just for the marketing, the name of the brand, stuff like that. The marketing push that's went behind the release of the model, the weight that the steel carries, whether it be Magna Cut or S steels or whatever, and I can understand that. I can really understand that, because to an extent, that's kind of true. Especially when you can get this right here for $25. Get out of here. If you're somebody that never wants to buy an expensive knife, but you want nice knives, quality knives, knives that look good, really beautiful knives, decorative knives, knives that are capable but also look quality, you don't have to go to these big retailers. You don't have to go to these big brand names. This is blowing my mind. Now, Miguron was enough for me to learn a lesson, but this action right here, this is so smooth. Look at this action. This is just crazy how good this is. Let's look at some stats here on this knife. And you can get this. Oh yeah. You can get it in OD green, red and black, blue and black. This one, like a bluish green and black. You can get that zebra stripe, white and black, with kind of a red tint to the outline of the black. Looks really good. Or even solid black. There's a lot of options for this. This is a really nice daggone knife for what the price is. Sativian ST128 folding knife. It says reversible clip. That is not a reversible pocket clip. All right, so they're wrong there. G10 handles. It's called Desert. This color is called Desert. D2 steel. Overall length is 8.62 inches. The item weight is 7.1 ounces. Now, it is heavy. That is something that I will say about this knife. This is a heavy knife. So you might not like this knife if you are somebody that likes the lighter bug out and stuff like that. You probably would not like this knife. Blade length is 3.66 inches. Weight of knife is 4.85 ounces. I thought that was awful heavy, 7.1 ounces. Up here it's saying something completely different. Up here it's saying 4.8 ounces. 4.85. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. That seems more realistic. 4.85. It is a very heavy knife. This knife has got some weight to it. So if you're somebody that likes light knives, the bug out and Deca style, you might not like this knife. This is a heavy knife. It's a big, bulky knife. But boy, this is a good knife. This is a high quality, well-made, surprisingly good knife for $25. Another knife with D2 steel. That's crazy. That's just crazy right there. Let's go with this next fixed blade here. I'm excited about this one. This is a brand. Oh, I'm opening it the wrong way. This is Ned Foss. Daggone it. It doesn't want to come out. Okay, with this you get a microfiber cloth. That does not feel like microfiber at all. That is not microfiber. It's got a velvety feel to it, but it is not microfiber at all. You get a little owner's manual or whatever, and you get this right here. Now this is actually cool. I actually have a whole bunch of these where we own the Prep Shack store, and we made ferro rod kits and stuff with key rings and stuff for our little emergency kits that we would build and sell. And these are excellent for striking a ferro rod. You can also use them as like a wrench and stuff. They got a little wrench spot right here. You can use them as a can opener, different things, but they're a ferro rod striker. Now this does come with the ferro rod, and that's really cool. I just noticed that. It actually is in there with a, so, actually wrong way. See the sparks? All right, so this is not a great ferro rod. Actually, not a great ferro rod at all. There we go. Okay, it is a great ferro rod. Never mind. I'm going to burn my house down. All right. Now, I know that with these, you also have to get that black paint and stuff like that off of them, but usually they don't take that much to strike. This feels a little cheap. It feels a little cheap, but it's, you know, it's the price that you're paying. So you get a good ferro rod. It's got this little bungee cord on it that goes in here, so you can wrap it around and keep it from falling out. So that's actually pretty cool. I would probably put a different cord because this will cut or snap really easy. Another one with a Kydex sheath and this little clip, or a big clip in this one, and this is a much bigger clip than the other one. Now, we pull this out. That's got great retention. Good snap, actually. Good snap. Good snap. Ooh, look at that jimping right there. Look, is that even called jimping or canyons? Oh, yeah, that's right up my alley. That's perfect. You could almost use that as one of those sawback spines with the saws on it and stuff. You could almost use that. That is pretty sharp jimping. And the blade stock, look how thick that blade stock is. Wow. Now this thing is this is nice. This is nice. I like this. I like this a lot. Look at that. Looks good. Tell you, it looks a lot like my Essie handle. Obviously it's not, but I will tell you, it's obviously full tang. You got some more jimping back here for a better grip. You've got this little lanyard here that comes on it. Now I'm going to tell you though, and this is just something that you really I guess this is just going to be something you're going to see on these more affordable budget knives. And these are ultra budget knives. This is $36.99. This is extremely straight edges, sharp edges, and boxy. See how sharp that is? It's just flat. Very boxy right there. Very sharp edges. Very same on the side. Look how flat that is. Look how flat that is. Like there's no rounding to these edges at all. That's going to be hot spots for a lot of people. So you're going to, this is another one where you're going to want to take some sandpaper and rub that down. But again, you're paying $37. What do you expect? A lot of people would get this knife for $37 and not be like, holy smokes, look at what all you get for $37. They'd be like, this knife ain't perfect. This knife has, and I don't think that's the right way to approach this. I think that there's a lot here for $37. I think that this is a fantastic knife for $37. I think that there's some things that could be improved on, obviously, but it's $37. So I would sand these down for sure, because those are going to be extremely bad hot spots for people. Now my hands are big and this is a big knife, so it's not going to be as big of an issue for me or other people with 2XL hands. If you have smaller hands though, it's going to be a problem, because that other one was boxy. This is extremely boxy. And I know that's a problem for a lot of people and a lot of handles and stuff. So this is 440C stainless steel, blue G10 handles, Ned Foss. Now this is called the Hyenas Bushcraft knife with a fire starter. Now, it's made of high quality 440C stainless steel with a thinner, highly refined cutting edge. Speaking of which, let's check out the cutting edge. Let's see how good that cutting edge is. Okay. Right there's a little bit of a hang up. Right there is a little bit of a hang up. But as long as you don't start there, you're good. But if you start right there, there's that hang up it catches. And you can even see in the grind, you can see in the edge grind where it's a little, the edge is a little bit, it's not even right there. And that's just some grind work. That's something you can work out with the sharpener. Take that down a little bit and take care of that, no problem. Again, $37. Now, let me see, where's the overall length on this knife? This is a fantastic knife for $37. I just absolutely like this thing a lot. I like this thing so daggone much, honestly. I ain't even gonna lie. The blade length is 3.5 inches. Yeah, I can see that. Item weight is 6.8 ounces. Drop point blade. It does not show the overall length. Full flat grind. Made in China. Doesn't show the overall length. I could get out a measuring tape and measure it and stuff, but here, it's a 3.5 inch blade. It's a daggone camping knife. It's an outdoor knife. It's what you expect. It's got great Kydex. It's got a great ferrule rod. It's got a, I mean, this feels like a 50-cent piece here at most. I would probably do away with that and just throw that away and just, you know, get you a, just a little piece of metal that you could scrape on, or scrape on the back of the spine. I would just do away with that. That's pointless. Unless you wanted to use the can opener and the ruler. It's got a little ruler right there with it. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that ruler right there. So you can use that. But 37 bucks. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm blown away. All of these, again, another situation where I say, if you are somebody that does not want to spend a lot of money on knives and you don't want to go out and you have no interest at all in going out and buying a knife just because it's a Kaiser or just because it's a Civivi or just because it's a Vosteed or anything else, and you just want a good knife and you don't care about all that him-hum smoke and mirrors. You just want a decent knife that you can use, and if you lose it or beat it up or break it, you'll get another one. Right here you go. $37. Now, I'm going to say something though here. Being somebody that has learned a lot in a short period of time about blade steels, this is a camping and bushcraft knife. It's pitched as that. And it's very thick blade stock. And I do know from doing some stats on it recently that 440 and 420 are relatively tough steels. They really are. But they're not high carbon and stuff like that. It's got really sharp spine. That'd be great for striking a ferro rod right there. I don't know if this would be a good knife for batoning. It would probably be good for feather sticking. It's sharp. It's got a flat grind. It'd probably be pretty good for feather sticking for a while until you had to sharpen it. The edge is not going to hold up forever. It's 440C. So it's not going to hold an edge for the longest, not long at all. You're going to have to constantly sharpen and drop that edge back to sharpness. But as far as batoning and stuff and chopping, I don't know how good this would be. But you're only paying 37 bucks for it. Now, it might be a fantastic knife, and it might last you a long time. And by the time it does snap, or you lose it, or break the tip off of it, or it's just been sharpened so many times it's just ready to be replaced, it might be you've gotten more than your 37 bucks out of it, so it's good. It don't matter at that point. That very well may be the case, and I'm not saying it won't be the case. I'm just saying I don't know how well that would stand up. Being called a camping knife and a hunting or a bushcraft knife, I don't know how good that will hold up for true bushcraft, chopping and batoning and stuff. I don't know. That's something that you would have to try out and do yourself. But at $37, you're not risking a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? This last knife I wanted to save for last because I've already opened this knife up, and I think this knife is amazing. Amazing. Now, I've already talked about Miguron. I've already went on and on about how much I've learned about them, how surprised I was, how much I've learned a lesson that I will never forget. It was a very valuable lesson. I'm grateful for everybody that told me about Miguron and kept telling me, you're not paying attention. You need to listen to us. You need to get Miguron. I appreciate you guys because you all was right. And I should have listened to you much farther or sooner. And I have now, and I will from here on. This knife is the Miguron Acre front flipper. This knife, if you got a Miguron already, you know how good that quality is. The fit and finish on this thing is fantastic. Fantastic. Full steel liners, G10 handles, a very nice pocket clip, titanium pocket clip that is. It is not reversible. It's right hand only, tip up. But this has got a hollow grind on it, a razor blade edge. Let me tell you, it is a liner lock. This knife is awesome. Look at this. It looks like a gentleman's knife. It looks like an executive knife. It looks like a knife you'd wear to go to church. It looks like a knife. Here you go. You want a knife that you can take with you and use as a steak knife when you're going out for Sunday brunch or Sunday lunch or whatever after church? Here you go. There's your own steak knife. Look at how big that knife is right there. Look at that swedge on top. Look at that grind. Look at that. This knife is such good quality. And you know what this thing comes in at? $44.95. $45. Again, this is another knife that I've got knives over there that cost more money than this, and I would put this up against it and say that this is a nicer knife. No question, no doubt about it. I'm not saying that those aren't good knives over there. I love all my knives. I don't love them like, I love all my knives, every one of them, and I don't care what they are. I'll get the cheapest one out and I'll carry it and EDC it and use it and have just as much fun as I will with the next one. I love all my knives. I'm just saying there's some over there that cost a lot more money that I'd put this up against any day. And I bet you if you ask 10 people out of 10 people that don't know anything about knives and you put them in both their hands, or put both of them in their hands, and you say, all right, I'm not telling you anything about these knives. I'm not telling you what they cost. Which one do you think's nicer? Which one do you think costs more? I bet 11 out of 10 people are going to say this knife, because this knife is so daggone nice and well built. Excellent action. It's got some small amount of jimping on the blade, just right there on the front flipper part. It is extremely micro, so it's almost not even there. But it is just enough to get that traction for that front flip. And it is sweet. Look at how much blade you've got. Look how big this knife is. Look at that. You've still got overhang here and overhang here. With the 2X hand, you can get different grips, you can get different holds, you can this knife is going to be an excellent knife. This is a knife that I could see a gentleman sitting out on his front porch, pulling it out of his pocket and just doing some whittling on some wood, stuff like that, taking it, cutting his apple, just having a good old time with. I can also see this as a knife that you would give to your CEO boss, and you just want to give him a good pocket knife, you want to give him a good gift. This right here, because I wore suits and ties for a long time. Many people that know me only know me as the guy that was always in shirts and ties. Always. Dress shoes, always polished, like never had this right here. And this is a knife that I would have loved to have had. I wasn't a collector back then and didn't know anything about knives, but I'm telling you right now, I'd have loved this thing. I thought this thing was the greatest thing in the world. It's got a really nice spacer right there. It's just all around. Now, I know it's only the pocket clip, but it's a titanium pocket clip. And I don't know what they do that for, honestly. I don't know the point of that, but it just gives it that little touch. It just gives it that little bit of extra. We're giving you a little bit of titanium. We're not giving you much, just a little bit. But for the price you're paying, what do you expect? But we at least want you to know that there's a lot of TLC that went into this knife. And that pocket clip kind of signifies that. You're not getting D2 with this. You're not getting 440. You're not getting any of that. You're getting 14C 28N blade steel, which is a durable blade steel. It's a tough blade steel. It's going to have decent edge retention, decent corrosion resistance. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It is for that price though, for $45, fantastic, fantastic. Now let's see some stats on this knife. Let me see. I guess I'm going to have to go all the way down here to the bottom. This has got G10 handles, 14C 28N blade steel. The blade length is 3.75 inches. So this is definitely over that 3-inch blade length. If you are someplace that does not allow for a 3-inch knife, or a 3-inch blade, I should say, that's something you're going to have to consider with this. But it might still be a knife that you want to keep around the house or collect or get into something like that. Now, can you carry it out in public? I'm not a lawyer. And if your laws say not to, then don't do it. It's not worth the risk. But I would still want to have something like this as a collector's piece and just to have it because it's so daggone nice. It is right hand only, tip up. It's considered a drop point blade with a hollow grind. The overall length is 8.3 inches, so it is a long knife. And the weight is 4.3 ounces, and it's made in China by Miguron Knives. And I'm telling you right now, The fit and finish on this thing is fantastic. Fantastic. I'm telling you right now, I love this knife. I'm going to really quick. That was me. Butter. Just check the tip right there out. See how sharp that tip is. Just butter. Razor blade sharp with the hollow grind. This thing is fantastic. Coming in at $45, guys. $45. I'm telling you right now, I will always sing the praises of all those knives over there and all those brands, and I will tell you that you pay for what you get. You pay a little more, you get a little more. You pay a little less, you get a little less. But the thing is these days, with the things that you can get for $100, the things that you can get for $50 is so great that you do not have to. Here's the thing. I used to tell people all the time, you should put yourself in a position to where when you buy something, it's because you want to, not because you have to. If you're going to buy a new vehicle, buy something that's going to last you a long time. That way when you go to trade it in and get you a new one, it's because you want to, not because you have to, because it's broke down, beat up, and worn out, and it's just on its last leg. Buy something that's going to last and it's worth your money. Replace it when you want to, not when you have to. Knives are the same exact way. Buy an expensive, more name brand, higher end, premium knife because you want to, not because you have to. And here's the truth of it. When you have stuff like this right here on the market, that's exactly what you're dealing with. You don't have to buy anything. You can, for $50, actually less than $50, $45, get a really good pocket knife. A really good pocket knife. And if you don't want the Acri, get the Valona. Get the Mayoral, or however you say it. Moyoral, however you say it. I can't say that word. Whatever it's called, you can get all of them for around that $50 price point, and they're all just as high quality, premium, 14C 28M blade steel, titanium pocket clip, fit and finish out of this world. They're all awesome, all of them. So again, if you want to go up to those next levels and buy those other knives, those collector's knives, those Civivis and those zero tolerances and the Spydercos and the different things like that, and Kershaw Bel Airs and stuff like that, you can, because you want to, because you appreciate them, because that's what you want, because that's what you want to collect. But we are truly in a position right now to where if you're only buying a knife because you want something that's really quality, that you can use, that you can beat up, that you can use for work, that you can use out in the woods, that you can use as an EDC knife, we are truly in a blessed position where you can get all that you need for very budget prices. Now, a lot of people are not going to like me saying that, because we have knife snobs and steel snobs, and both of them I appreciate very much, and I completely understand why they feel that way, and I support them feeling that way 100%, because we all have opinions and I support theirs, and I can see and understand why they feel that way. But the truth is the truth, and that this is my truth, and I'm just being honest. You don't have to spend that money to get you a good knife. You will have to sharpen these knives more. Yes, they're not going to hold the edges long. They're not going to be the premium steels. They're not going to be the powdered steels, the CPMs, and all that other stuff. Absolutely, they're not going to do it. You're going to sharpen a lot. You're going to put the work in. You got to hone your edges. You got to take care of them, blah, 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 blah. All of that is 100% true. I'm not telling you that these are as good as the expensive knives. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying these are good enough to get by on. Great knife right here. I love this knife. Fantastic. I love all these knives. I'm going to do one last thing, and then I'm done. I said I wanted to test this edge out because this is D2, and I just wanted to test it out, and it's the only one that I didn't. So let's check out this little EDC fixed blade right here. That was sharper than what I thought it was going to be. I ain't even going to lie.
That was me. Look at that. Like Moses through the Red Sea. They're all...
Moral of the story is, you can get some really good knives off Amazon from some really good budget prices. Knife snobs are knife snobs for a reason. But if you're not a knife snob, if you're not a steel snob, and you're somebody that just wants a good knife to use, and you care about how much money you spend, and you don't want to spend a lot, and you can't spend a lot, or whatever, then I say right now, go into Amazon, get one of these knives. I didn't get an off-grid. I want to check them out, and I'll test them out too. But Sativian, Effengrow, Ned Foss, Migueron, and there's many more. And I'll test them out as well. And from what I can tell, they're awesome knives. One last thing, guys. James McCann, War Room EDC, Ken Faulkner, David Young, None for Now, Mick Ranger, Mike Link, Viking Vume, Tyler Powers, Michael N, John Pepper, Mike J, James White, Tricky 48, Woods Walker, Mutt Stumbo, Dean Brame, Sandy Milne, and Sebastian W. I love you, son. You guys are all great. I appreciate you very much. Those are our premium members. If you want to be a member of our premium member group, all you have to do is join. There's a join button, but the link will also be in the description to join the premium member group. Nobody has to. You're all in. As long as you made a comment on the huge knife budget giveaway, you are in the March 3rd giveaway. But if you want to be in the monthly Knife of the Month Club giveaway for the premium members, you have to join. All that money goes towards knives. All that money is going to go towards knives. The more members, the nicer the knives are. Tier 1, you get 1 name in the hat. Tier 2, you get 3 names in the hat. Tier 3, you get 5 names in the hat. And at the end of the month, the last day of the month, we have a live viewing that's only for premium members, and we're going to put all those names in the hat, depending on how many names you have, depending on what tier you're at. And we will draw a name out, and that person wins the knife that we revealed. And this month, it is the Concept Mini Accipiter Titanium S35VN. Great knife. And next month, we'll have a nice knife as well. It's always going to be at least $100, and most of the time, it'll be far, far more than that. And the more people we have, the more the knife will be worth. Trust me. Because I'm not trying to make money off that. I'm trying to give knives away. So if you're interested in being a member of the premium member group, the link will be in the description, or look for the join tab on your screen. Either way, I appreciate you guys. Excellent knives. I appreciate everybody that told me to go that way, to go these directions, and I will get plenty more of these. Trust me. I'm Chris the Unprofessional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives. I'll see you in the next one.